Welcome back to the Triple Threat Podcast presented by Betalytics Sports Betting. And yes, we have a different location today.
Yes.
This week we are in we're not in the studio.
No.
We're not in our normal setting, and that's just for this week. So bear with us for this week.
Yeah. Sorry,
and
guys.
we will be back to normal setting next week.
Happy Tuesday, though. Happy Tuesday.
Oh, wait,
glad to be back. Glad to be back.
All right.
Yeah, I love doing episodes, man. It's fun. It's a fun time. But yeah, NFL season is officially over. It's a sad time.
It's
our
sad.
last recap of season 2, I think, of Triple Threat.
Yes.
Yeah. Last recap of season 2, because season 1 we technically started halfway through.
Yeah.
So this is our first full season.
A little bit more.
This is our first. If this is our first full season, then I'd say it's the end of season 1.
Like season and a half.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But it was
close. We'll just say it's season 2.
You will say season 2 because it's been a year. It's been a year and a half. But yeah. High level thoughts about the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I thought
we're going into Tricap for the Super Bowl right now.
Tricap, obviously.
So Super Bowl Tricap.
High level thoughts
right now.
I will say it wasn't as entertaining as was advertised. I think it could have and I think just one team was just better than the other. I would say. You just saw. I know we're gonna get into just my high level thoughts. The Chiefs looked absolutely depleted after that first half.
It's like the first drive.
Really, they couldn't really get anything together, and the Eagles defense just did everything they wanted, and the Eagles offense did everything they wanted with the defense. So it was just a pummeling from both sides of the ball. Even Jake Elliott looked great. From what we've seen in the regular season from him, and then the playoffs, he just didn't miss. So it was, and the Eagles handed it to the Chiefs.
It was literally just pure domination.
Yeah, from start to finish.
From the very beginning, the Chiefs really didn't have any chance in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as soon as what was it? As soon as the Chiefs got that one PI call, or they stopped them the first drive, and then
you should have saw Jake. You should have saw Jake when they had that first PI call. He was pissed. I was like, oh no, because this is how we're gonna start off the Super Bowl.
I'm like, okay, here we go. Here's the calls, and then they gave a makeup call.
Yeah,
and then just after that, it was just. The Eagles just took over. Their D-line is absolutely
disgusting,
insane.
One of the best, youngest,
their defense in general,
the youngest D-line in the NFL right now.
Their defense in general is just they have probably the best secondary from top to bottom.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
their D-line is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Carter's a freaking beast. You can't stop him.
Yeah.
And then if you try to double team him, you're just leaving everyone else one-on-one.
I also
and
just
they're
I
more
also
than
just
capable
think,
of getting past one-on-ones.
No, I think it was also just I don't know. It's funny with the Chiefs. It's when they have underwhelming receivers, they do well. And then this year they had Hollywood Brown, who's been really good, D-Hop, who is getting up there in age, but he's still a solid possession catch receiver.
They had Hollywood for a little bit.
And you have Travis Kelce, who's Travis Kelce, and then it was they couldn't get it together. Mahomes wasn't hitting them at the right spots. D-Hop dropped balls that we never seen him drop in his career. And that O-line just did not play. That was probably their worst game.
They
gave up
6 sacks in that game.
Horrible. And
Mahomes was running for his life.
We called that O-line one of the best in football. And you let that D-line get 6 sacks on your quarterback. It's just disgusting.
I don't know who said that they have a good O-line.
I'm not saying us. I'm saying people out there in sports media.
I'm saying
a top 5 O-line in football.
If you think they have a top 5 O-line, then
I didn't say it.
I don't know what like metric or whatever you're watching.
Who would be the top 5 O-lines in football right now? Because we know the Eagles are up there, but like who else would be up there?
The
Niners? Because of Trent Williams? Just because of Trent Williams, they're up there?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't... Ravens? Conversation?
I mean, at the end of the... As the year went on, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah, that's a tough...
Like, the Chiefs... I just
that's
don't
a
think...
tough one, because
I don't think the Chiefs are... I just don't think they're a top 5...
Top 10,
O-line. I mean, you
top
have...
10.
The Bills have a
good O-line. Yeah, they have a good O-line.
The Broncos...
They had a good O-line this year, yeah. The
Broncos and
Chargers?
Eagles...
Chargers
are
had a good O-line, yeah. I don't know if they're top 5. I think we're speaking on 10. But, like...
I mean...
I think it's just, like, the Eagles O-line is 1, and then everybody else is just in another tier.
The Eagles and Broncos are probably top 2.
Yeah. I think it's just you have the Eagles O-line, and everybody else is just kind of...
Chargers, yeah.
So... But, yeah. I mean, any other high-level thoughts? Super Bowl itself, not even just the game, like the atmosphere being in New Orleans, the commercials, halftime show. Like, I think he saw me. I love that halftime show. That was one of my favorite halftime shows I've ever watched. But I know there are people on Twitter, like, after the game was over, was like, it was boring, it was mid because he wasn't playing his old hits. And I was just like, I watched... Sorry, I'm about to go on a rant here. I watched him talk about this halftime show, and he said it was going to be a storytelling, and he said he was just telling a story, and that you could see there are so many subliminal stuff in it that was like something you don't really see from a lot of halftime shows. A lot of halftime shows you see people are just doing their hits, the stuff that gets people excited to get them to dance. And not saying that Kendrick wasn't doing that. I mean, he played Humble, he played DNA, he played Luther with SZA and All the Stars, so like it wasn't like he was playing like hits from back in the day, but like he just wanted to tell a story, and you could see that in the way like it was laid out. Like he had Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, which I didn't think how that was working, but then once I looked back and watched it, I was like, that was smart.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, but
during the halftime show, but a lot of people were just like upset because they thought he was just. Like, he just wanted to keep going at Drake.
He's going over the hype of the Drake beef, was what they were saying.
And people were mad because it's like, they just want to hear your songs, not...
But I mean,
like,
not
you
like
already
us.
won
Not
the
like
beef.
us won 5 Grammys.
Like, he just...
So, like...
No, people were just saying, like, you already won that battle.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
just play your songs.
I agree. And I think there's...
I like the dissing.
There's some good quality of that. Like, would I have loved to hear Good Mad City or Alright or even, like, Love or something like that? Like, yeah, sure. Like, I would have loved to hear that. But like I said, he talked about how he wanted to tell a story, and he told the story very well. He was telling the story about how America is so messed up right now, which that's a whole nother conversation we could get into. But like,
I liked it. I thought it was good.
I think for me, I think it was one of my favorite halftime shows. It's one I'm gonna remember for a while. He was the only solo rapper to ever do the halftime show. It's just him, nobody else. So that's something that you have to put in perspective, because we got Dre and Snoop Dogg back in, like, I don't remember what that was. This 2022?
That was 20...
Something like that? Was it 2022? I don't even remember. It was in LA.
No, wait. So that was last year. What was that?
Because last year was...
It was 21.
Yeah, you're right, 21. And so, like, you had Snoop, you had Dr. Dre, you had Eminem, and even Kendrick made a feature in that one. And he played mostly his old songs.
Wasn't it like
Mary J. Blige?
Yeah.
And 50 Cent.
Yes.
Great halftime show. That was also one of my favorites, just because that just showed West Coast culture and style and things like that. But like I said, like Kendrick said he wanted to tell a story. I think he told it very well. And I think you just had to go back and watch it and see all the subliminal messages that he was saying. And then you'll understand why he did what he did. But I wouldn't say this one was mid. There are definitely other ones that I would think are mid. But we're getting away from the game. But like, I love the halftime show. I think that was my favorite.
Now we're going to talk about...
What other high-level thoughts about the game? There's something else I wanted to mention. Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
GOAT conversation is over. I'll say that much. I'll say that much.
All right. Well,
Because I know you have. Are we doing grill time again?
we're just
Can I
going
say
over
grill time?
stuff.
Can I
You
take
can
it?
say it, sure.
Grill time, baby. Let's go. All right.
It's kind of just going over the Super Bowl, but
hit me with it.
best roster we have seen this century. Talking about the Eagles,
Is this Eagles team the best roster of the
top to bottom?
21st century?
Offense, defense, O line, D line, secondary, wide receivers, running back, quarterback.
It's tough because I think
If you want to throw in coaches, you can throw in coaching.
throw in coaches. Yeah, I think it's hard to say if this is the best roster because there are so many star-studded rosters of the 2000s that it's insane to think. But you also have to I think offensively, I think this is the most star power we have seen because Jalen Hurts I think now solidified himself as a top 5 quarterback. Saquon Barkley's a top 5 running back. AJ Brown's a top 10 wide receiver, and Devontae Smith is one of the best wide receiver 2s we've ever seen. And like you said, the Eagles' O-line is one of the best O-lines in football. So offensively, you could have that conversation. Defensively, Zach Bond really came into his own as a middle linebacker this year. Is probably now one of the best middle linebackers in football. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean is going to be one of the best corners for years to come.
Slot
and now
corner.
that they got those two, and they're getting the
pretty
rookie
sure he
deals,
was.
that's money that the Eagles have now saved. They can put into other stuff. And then you got Jalen Carter, Josh Sweat. Who else am I missing? Not Brandon Graham anymore because he's probably going to retire. Shout out to you, 55.
That was his last game.
Love him. Love what he did.
We're talking about D line right now.
Yeah, I went strict. I was saying going into Jalen Carter,
Sweat,
Josh Sweat,
Oren Burks, Milton Williams.
Yep. Who was the other guy that they picked?
Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis. Yeah. And so that
Jomo.
I think
Jalix Hunt.
I think there's those guys. You wouldn't call them a star-studded roster per se. You would just say they're guys that just had a great defensive coordinator that made them better, that made them look good. But they are stars. I'm not saying that Zach Bond's not a star. I'm not saying Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Darius Slay. I didn't mention Darius Slay or Gardner Johnson or Maddox or even Isaiah Rodgers. There's so many guys on that roster that are great players, but you wouldn't call them superstars.
No, they're not
yet. They can be superstars. They will be superstars, but it's just that Vic Fangio was just really good at his job this year.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying?
Their defense is not when you look at them as a total defense, all the names on that defense.
All the names I just mentioned. There are more that I didn't mention.
You wouldn't
Nakobe
be
Dean,
like, oh,
shout out to him.
Yeah,
stud.
that defense is full of superstar names.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that with that, they're all great players. I think they're all going to end up. Most of them, I think, are going to.
Zach Bond is getting that contract. Zach Bond is getting that contract.
Their rookies are going to be insane. Their whole careers.
If this is how good Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are their rookie seasons, imagine how they'll be once they get in the offseason and they get better.
Just quick side note, the fact that they were able to get both of them in the same draft.
Insane.
The fact that Cooper DeJean fell to the second. He fell to the second round is just insane.
What can I say? Howie Roseman's just a dog.
Because I'm pretty sure they were they drafted Mitchell and they were like, oh, we're going to miss out on Cooper. Got him in the second round.
Like, yep, well, we got to take him now at this point.
But yeah, I mean, they're not full of superstar names.
Yeah.
They're just full of great players that came together with a great scheme.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They just came together
and again, this is not us saying that they are not
of players.
And this is not us saying they're not superstars. They will all be superstars in their own right.
They all have the capabilities.
Jalen Carter is probably a superstar D lineman right now. He's probably one of the top D linemen in football right now. We're not saying that he's not good. What we're saying is that this team this year, they were not star-studded names when they were on the roster, but because Vic Fangio had such a good scheme and system, they made them become what they are, which is the best defense in football.
When your two best cornerbacks are rookies,
you don't know what you don't know what they're gonna be like. You can only see what they did in college.
From the fact that you're a Super Bowl winning team, and you your two best corners in your secondary, or your two best secondary players, are rookies. It's just that they had the perfect mix of players with the scheme that they ran.
Yeah, and I think that's just comes down to like Vic Fangio just being a great defensive coordinator and Kellen Moore being a great offensive coordinator for this offense. And Nick Sirianni, as much as we all bashed him at the first part of the season when they were 2-2, and the Eagles fans were like, fire him. Like,
I love Nick Sirianni.
I think there's so much to say about how he could have just wet the bed and just stopped being a good coach, but he kept going. He was like, this is still a good roster, this is still a good team, we just need to fix things, and they fixed them.
He could have. He just listened.
And ever since the bye week, he only lost one game.
He actually listened to the thing is, like, when that was at that point of the season, he actually was willing to.
And I will also say I was one of those people. I was one of those people who said stuff from Nick Sirianni's name. If you go back went back to past episodes, I definitely was like, Nick Sirianni might have to bounce.
I always believed in Nick Sirianni.
You did. I'm not saying you did. All right. Next topic.
Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback. I will say that right now.
Okay.
I could argue that he's 3.
No, I think that's crazy.
Or 3 or 4, I could argue.
That's crazy, bro.
It's not crazy.
It's kind of crazy.
It's
because, like I said, the top four are solidified. Patrick Lamar, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Those are the 4. Like that's like if anyone got traded. Like if they were in like a Luka Doncic type trade, no GM would be safe. They would be ridiculed to no end. You and I know that.
That's true, but at some point, Jalen Hurts going to 2 out of 3 Super Bowls. 2 out of the last 3.
What third one did he go to?
He went 2 out of 3. He went.
I thought
22.
I thought it was just that one.
He went to 22 and 24 seasons. He went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's 2 years.
Yeah, I said 2 out of the last 3. He went to the Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both Super Bowls.
Okay, I'm with you. Okay, but then you have to think about like.
So like that has to mean something because the other.
Yeah, but
Joe Burrow
but the reasons
went
that
to
we
a Super
have,
Bowl, lost.
But yeah, the reason that
Josh Allen's never been to a Super Bowl.
I don't disagree, and Josh and Lamar both haven't, so I'm not going to disagree on that one.
I think Lamar's better.
Lamar
though.
has MVPs. Patrick Mahomes has MVPs. Josh Allen won his MVP. Those are 3. The only reason that we even have Joe Burrow in the conversation before is because he won. Anyway. He beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game and went to a Super Bowl, even though he lost. But at least he's been there. We can't say the same about 3 and 2. So if we were going off of your statement and we're saying off of Super Bowls, Mahomes would be 1, Jalen Hurts is 2, Joe Burrow's 3, and then Lamar and then Josh Allen are 4 and 5. If we're gonna get into that conversation,
it's not all about Super Bowls. That's not what I'm saying. But
that's what it sounds like to people.
I'm not saying that though. I could put Jalen Hurts at 3.
Okay.
Because he has done more. So
let me hear your top 5 list from 1 to 5.
Okay, 1 is Mahomes.
Okay.
2 I think is Lamar.
Okay.
3
And they're like you
I'd put.
Someone's gonna be a 5, and someone's gonna get disrespected. Someone's gonna get disrespected.
Screw it. I'm gonna say Jalen Hurts is 3.
Okay.
Josh Allen 4. No. Yes.
Okay. Josh Allen 4. And Joe Burrow 5.
Joe Burrow 5.
Okay.
Because why I'm putting Joe Burrow at 5?
Let me say mine, and then I'll listen to you. Mine would be Patrick Mahomes is 1. I'm gonna say Lamar is still 2. Jalen Hurts is 3.
See, so you agree?
No, wait, I said that wrong. Patrick Mahomes is 1. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it'd be Lamar 2, Josh Allen 3, Jalen's 4, and Joe Burrow's 5. I'm switching Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts because we have to respect Josh Allen.
We do.
We have to respect Josh Allen. Especially Bills Mafia. After what they did for Mark Andrews, we're going to respect Bills Mafia.
But that doesn't have to do with what I'm talking about.
I know, but I'm going to say it.
We have to put Jalen Hurts I think we have to put him in the top
He's in top
3.
5. Like I said, at worst.
Like, yes, he doesn't have the
worst,
MVP.
He's a top 5 quarterback.
Like, yes, he doesn't have an MVP, but he's been to 2 Super Bowls in his first 4 years.
Look, I'm not.
And he's outplayed Mahomes in both of them.
I'm not trying to disrespect Jalen Hurts
And he
either.
won one.
He won the Super Bowl.
And
He's
in
a
Super Bowl MVP.
Yes, that's what I was literally about to be where you are. I know. So with that being said, I know how much Jalen Hurts. We have to respect his game. He is a great quarterback that has played in great games, and when he is in when the lights are the brightest, he has done better than Joe Burrow, then Josh Allen, then Lamar Jackson, and we would even go further and say Patrick Mahomes. Because Patrick Mahomes, when the lights were brightest, he fumbled. We can say that.
Well, yeah, he played. That was his worst game of his career. Yeah, that was
one of his worst games of his career. More times than not, Patrick Mahomes can get it done.
The worst.
Can get it done. But like this Super Bowl and probably the Super Bowl with Tom Brady were one of his 2 worst Super Bowl performances in my honest opinion.
No, yeah.
In my honest opinion.
I mean, yes, so both Super Bowls he's lost, he got destroyed.
Exactly.
And he played horrendously.
And so with that being said, it's not me disrespecting Jalen Hurts. It is just that
it's not
Lamar is one of the
He's one
of the most talented quarterbacks.
He's the most skilled quarterback in the NFL.
He's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league. Josh Allen has the most heart, I would say, because he will keep fighting.
He's overcame the most.
He'll keep fighting until he gets to the end. Joe Burrow's like this flashy dude that no one really expected to be as good as we thought he was gonna be, and then to beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game was crazy. And then getting to the Super Bowl, even though he lost, but still at least he'd been there more than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. So it's hard to make a list of the 5 because all 5 of those guys could be 1. Well, no, all those 4 of the guys could be 2. If we really want to get in that conversation, because if any one of those guys, the only way they're solidified 2 now is if they get to a Super Bowl. Somebody has to get more Super Bowls than the other. And that's hard to do. Because guess where 4 out of the 5 quarterbacks that are good, where are they in the AFC? They all meet up with each other in the AFC Championship game. It's so hard to make that a conversation because Pat, you're gonna have Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar. All 3 of them know the only way I'm making it to the Super Bowl is if I beat Patrick Mahomes. That's the only way they're gonna make it. And then even if they do make it, now they have to go against a Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It just got rough.
Or someone else.
It got rough to win a championship. If you're an AFC quarterback, it got rough to win a Super Bowl.
Well, it's been rough.
But now that Jalen Hurts is that good.
No, I'm just
now that he's solidified as a top 5 guy. Now we're just saying the NFC. We're not saying that the
NFC is better than people think, but
because
they're better than people say.
Like I said before, the AFC has the best quarterbacks, not so much talent, and minus Jamar Chase and a few others, but it's not talent. There's not much talent for the AFC quarterbacks to have. While the NFC, you got above average to average quarterbacks with the greatest roster you will ever see in football.
Lions could be there.
Lions are a great example. Jared Goff is a above average to average QB, but he has Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, and then you add Amon St. Brown and James Williams at wide receiver, and then you got Laporta at tight end, and that offensive line, and that defense when Aiden Hutchinson gets back. Oh, goodness gracious. The Lions are a good team. They just don't have a good quarterback. Cowboys, great conversation, since we want to get into it. Dak Prescott, above average to average quarterback, even though I think he's trash. And then you have a top 3 wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, and that defense with Michael Parsons, even though he might not be there. Who knows? But
as
they look right now, the Cowboys have a great roster, but just not a good quarterback. So, if the Cowboys got a Josh Allen,
the Cowboys have an average quarterback.
If Lamar was a Detroit Lion, how disgusting would the league be right now? Because it'd be ugh. You know what I'm saying?
He's the most. Yeah, he's the most skilled quarterback in the NFL.
It's not easy to
make. That's why he's 2, and he has 2 MVPs. It's not easy
to make a top 5 list because all 5 of these guys.
It's not
are skilled. Okay. They're all. I'm just saying they're all skilled in their own way, different ways. They're one of their They're franchise guys. All 5 of these guys are franchise guys from 1 to 5. We can say that. They're franchise guys, absolutely. And so in their franchise, the team that are built around them has complemented them pretty well, minus maybe Lamar. Like if Lamar had an alpha 1 wide receiver, it'd be a different conversation. Not saying that Zay Flowers isn't. We had that conversation. Zay isn't alpha 1, but if you had somebody,
you
had someone like a CeeDee Lamb or a Justin Jefferson,
I know what you're saying. He's not a
Hill.
You need If the Ravens had a big body receiver, I think it would be a completely different type of thing.
If they had an AJ Brown, disgusting.
Yeah.
Make their team so much better. And so with that, but they have complemented each other so well, it doesn't even matter. Because like with the Ravens, their offense is mostly built around Lamar because he can run with the football. That's what he does best.
Yeah, it's Lamar and running the ball.
In open space, that brother can cook with his legs. Josh Allen's the same guy. He also can run with his legs, but he's mostly known to throw that thing down the field. He can throw a mean moon ball. Same with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow can use his legs, but he's also known as a thrower. Patrick Mahomes is a perfect example because his offense is so complementary with all minus the Super Bowl because it was bad, but offense in general that is so complementary that like each guy that he has makes him look good. So it's just hard to make a top 5 list in my opinion because all 5 of those guys deserve to be 1 through 5. It's tough. It's a hard conversation to have. But I'm also not, and this is also not me saying Jalen Hurts can't be up there to be a 4 or 3. I just think it's hard to make a conversation for it because they're all good.
He has to be there. If people say,
and again, this is not me disrespecting Jalen Hurts. He's a good quarterback.
If people actually say that Jalen Hurts is not at least 4,
at worst he's 5.
But I don't even think he's 5 at this point.
I'm saying to other people, at worst he's 5.
But my thing is, if you have Jalen Hurts at 5, that's very hard for me to be like, yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like he's done more than like Joe Burrow. The only thing Joe Burrow has done is beat Mahomes 1 time. He's missed the playoffs more than he's been in the playoffs.
Which Jalen Hurts is now done. So
listen, this is crazy to think about. Like if you actually think about it, Joe Burrow's missed the playoffs more than he's been in the playoffs.
True, very true.
So like, Joe Burrow lives and breathes off of beating Mahomes 1 time.
I'd say
that's it.
Out of the 4, Joe Burrow's in the worst situation right now because his defense is horrible and his coach is not. He doesn't have a great coach. Zach Taylor's not a great coach.
And like
he's a good coach, but he's not a great
Josh
coach.
Allen and Jalen Hurts, fine. You can 4,
make that
3,
argument.
whatever.
He has an MVP,
but
so it's like
Joe Burrow is 5 at this point. In my opinion, Joe Burrow is 5.
I think at worst Jalen Hurts is 4.
Yeah, I'm saying like, so yes, like for me, he's 3. Mm-hmm. But if you have him at let's say 4, that's fine.
Can we both agree that the top 5 are solidified now at this point?
Yes.
These are the 5.
Yes.
That's not changing.
Anyone that says
nobody can
Justin
make
Herbert
them is above like
or whatever.
Justin Herbert's gonna have to do more to get to 5.
Justin Herbert has to win a playoff game.
So will
first.
CJ Stroud. So will Trevor Lawrence. So will all these Jordan Love, Brock Purdy.
Oh, CJ Stroud's not top 5 anymore.
So if you guys want to be in that top 5 conversation, you got to make the playoffs, win a playoff game. And some of y'all who are in the AFC got to beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or somebody. And then you got to beat Jalen Hurts. Because at this point, Jalen Hurts is the top dog in the NFC. I'm sorry. He is.
They have to at least get to an AFC title game.
At least.
For me to even, like, consider putting you again in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's going to be very hard for me to put someone else in the top 5 now.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Like, you'd have to probably
I agree.
Get close or win a Super Bowl.
We're talking too much on top 5.
But in the end,
we're not talking too much on top 5.
Those are the top 5, whatever order you have them in. But you get what I'm saying,
though. It's hard to, like, we could say those are the 5 guys, but, like, ranking them, it's a hard thing to do.
It's hard, but Jalen Hurts is, at worst, the 4th best quarterback in football at this point because he's
okay, and I won't disagree with you on that, but can we both agree it's hard to rank those 5 guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my ranking, but it could be, for some people, it could be difficult. I don't feel good about
my ranking. I think it could change.
I feel pretty good about mine.
It fluctuates depending on how good they are that year, so, like, who knows?
Yes, but, I mean,
if we're talking this season, Patrick Mahomes might not even be 5.
I mean...
If this regular season, ish.
Like, what are you going off of? Just stats?
Just this season. Yeah, his stats this season.
Well, if you're going off of just stats, then yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But he went 15-2.
I don't disagree, but I'm saying stat-wise, it wasn't his best statistical year.
No, but I mean, he hasn't had his best statistical year in a while now.
I know, but this was worse.
Well, but he's still won.
Look, yes, no, I'm not saying he's not won. Goodness.
But that's why you can't go off of just stats.
Yeah. See, my disdain towards Patrick Mahomes. It's less than Dak, and it's crazy to say that.
Anyway, Vic Fangio was the best thing to ever happen to the Eagles.
Yes. We already had this conversation like earlier when we were talking about the roster, but like Vic Fangio for this defense was everything they needed and more. He made a bunch of people that nobody would ever talk about. Zach Vaughn's probably the perfect example. Like, Zach Vaughn was on the practice squad of the Saints and then became a middle linebacker for the Eagles, and now he's one of the best middle linebackers in football. He was a special teams player for the Saints.
Yes, special teams. He was. Not practice squad.
Same diff.
Well, he barely played anyway.
Exactly,
so.
Whatever you want to call it. He played for the Saints.
He played for the Saints.
He wasn't a middle linebacker. He went to the Eagles. Vic Fangio said, "Hey, let's make this guy a middle linebacker."
That's because he's not one of the best DN.
But he's one of the best middle linebackers.
The fact that the Saints put him at DN is just crazy to me.
Yeah. So
like, he's not a DN.
And then he takes two rookies and sorry, I won't say his name wrong. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and makes them absolute studs. Because remember, Cooper DeJean didn't start. It was Quinyon Mitchell who started for the first bit of the season, and then they put him in the roster. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, he didn't start. He didn't start week 1.
Cooper was always a
Cooper
starting.
Didn't start week 1. Look it up.
Cooper DeJean played in the slot most of the season.
Yeah, but he wasn't like he was in all the time.
99% of the season.
Not like he was this back half of the season.
I mean. Then who was the slot corner?
I don't know who it was, but I know Cooper DeJean didn't come into like at least week 3, week 4.
I don't think it was. It wasn't.
I'm not
Isaiah
saying
Rodgers.
I know exactly who it was.
It wasn't Devontae
What I'm saying
Maddox.
is that Cooper DeJean wasn't. Quinyon Mitchell had more games played than Cooper.
More games played or more games started? Because there's a difference.
More games played.
What do you mean? Cooper played in every single game.
Look it up.
Cooper played in every game that he was healthy. I don't remember if he was.
I said it's off top of the dome, so fact check me and tell me if I'm wrong.
How many games did Cooper play?
Yes. Fact check me and let me know if I'm wrong. I just said that off the dome because I think I know now. I know ball. I know ball. That's what I'm saying, bro. Man,
play.
That pick 6 on his birthday was crazy though. Golly. Yo, shout out to the NFL, man. I love football, bro.
How many
it's never gonna get old, man. You still trying to find it? We are dead air right now. I'm trying to keep the dead air from.
It won't tell me that. Oh wait, he played.
How many games did he play?
Cooper DeJean has played 16 games.
Are you on Pro Football Reference, or are you just looking at the first?
He played 16
article?
games this year.
Okay, and how many did Quinyon Mitchell play?
I think Quinyon, he played every game.
All right.
No.
So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and I apologize. I was wrong, and I apologize. I thought he played. I fully remember that Cooper did not start week 1 or something like that, or he was slot. I don't know what it was, but I don't remember him being the starting corner.
This
week
is
1.
Quinyon Mitchell played 16 games.
Okay, so maybe I was wrong, and I apologize. I thought he didn't come in until week 2, but I was wrong. I apologize.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, Vic really just made this defense what they are now.
He's the best assistant coach in football.
Yeah. Even though he didn't win the award this year, it went to Ben Johnson. Which, I mean, in retrospect, you can't really be mad about it because, I mean, Ben Johnson made that offense disgusting.
I mean, you can't, but, like,
Vic Fangio also made the defense disgusting.
Stupid.
So,
I think it's stupid that Vic Fangio didn't win that award. Because, you know why?
But you can understand why Ben Johnson won, though.
Last year, the Eagles were, like, I think they were 30th in defense.
Yeah.
Let's say it was something around that.
Something around that line, yeah.
And now they're the number 1 defense.
Sure.
In 1 year.
No, I don't disagree.
And it was a lot because of the scheme.
But you also have to understand how crucial Ben Johnson was to that offense, though.
Yes,
It's about
but
the
their
same.
offense
How
was
much
good the
Ben
year
Jon-
before.
How much Ben Johnson was crucial to that Lions offense was how much Vic Fangio was crucial to
But
that
that
Eagles
wasn't
defense.
his first season.
So it was you had to.
That wasn't.
There's
Ben
leeway.
Johnson's first year in Detroit.
But there's so much factors that are added into that. So it's like.
That's why it's so impressive that Vic Fangio jumped 29
like I said,
spots.
I don't disagree, but I'm talking about impact. They both had the same amount of impact, but people just looked at Ben Johnson more because of the amazing plays that
Why?
they had.
Because they people. I mean, yes, people love points.
They did. The
People love
NFL
points.
people love scoring. They love the people score.
We can't act like
We do.
We can't act like the Lions' offense was bad the year before.
I'm not
with
saying
Ben Johnson.
they were. I'm not saying they were.
So how the heck did he
But
win?
the NFL people love touchdowns. That's what they love to see. That is what we love to watch.
Okay, but it's not voted
More
on
than
by
defense.
fans. It's not voted on by fans.
Yeah, but it's writers and other
Yes.
people who also love scoring as well.
Yes, everyone
So-
loves scoring, but the fact that you went from 30th to 1st when the Lions' offense was it was good the year before.
Here,
I'm not saying
the
Ben
thing is,
Johnson
I'm not disagreeing with
did
you.
not
I'm
have
not
a huge
disagreeing with you.
impact. Like his creativity, his trick plays, his offensive scheme, the way he took
Like Jared Goff stumbled.
Jared Goff
He stumbled
and made him into looking like a top 5 quarterback at some point.
Picked up a football and threw it to Sam Laporta perfectly for a touchdown.
Okay,
And that was a play.
trick play.
That was a
okay.
play. It was
okay.
disgusting.
It was one trick play. I'm not gonna be
It
like
was more than one. He had multiple trick plays this season.
I know, but the
Ben
fact
Johnson was in his bag this year.
I think it's more impressive to
He's
take
in
a
his
30th
bag
ranked
this year.
defense into turning it into the first ranked defense. That's more impressive than taking the fifth best offense to the second
I'm
or
not
whatever it was.
disagreeing with you.
I don't know off the top of my head, but
the NFL fans, the NFL writers, everybody loves offense. They love scoring. So that's why
Yes.
Ben Johnson won.
I'm
that's why
aware
he
that
won.
people love points, and I love points too. But the fact that I just think it's more impressive.
No, Vic Fangio, what he did this year was. I'm not. See, the thing is,
I just think it's more impressive,
I'm not
that's it.
disagreeing with you. But I'm telling you what the perception is of the NFL right now.
I already know the perception.
So
but
what's the perception?
People love points. People
Okay.
want offense. That's why you can't touch receivers or the quarterback anymore because they want to score. They want them to score.
We've been known that.
But even then, with all those rules, that makes it even more impressive. What Vic Fangio has done.
You almost said his name right.
But
Sorry.
in my opinion, yes, it's the best thing that could have happened to the Eagles this year.
Yeah,
Because without Vic Fangio, I don't think they win the Super Bowl. Because his scheme and the players that they have and the way that their team lined up and came together through the whole season, up until playing Patrick Mahomes and beating the Chiefs, it was perfect for them.
I think it's just something that
It's a perfect fit.
And it's not, and like y'all heard me. I'm not trying to say that Vic Fangio wasn't great this year. He was. I'm not gonna say that at all. All I'm saying is that I can understand why Ben Johnson won Assistant Coach of the Year because of the perception of the NFL right now.
But I don't think it's right.
But I also, but there are a lot of NFL awards this year that we can
Yeah,
agree or disagree on. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's just what your opinions are on the NFL right now, because
some of these awards, I don't get them, bro.
I'll keep it a buck with you. I think the MVP. I think people have said this multiple times. Like, it's a quarterback award and things like that, and so like there's
And yet they
all
gave it to
those
the
things.
wrong one. Just saying. I'm always gonna say it. It was a pity award.
Oh my god!
It was a pity award.
Oh my god! We'll talk. I don't know when we're gonna talk about the NFL awards, because I don't think you wanted to talk about this episode.
We'll talk about it right now.
You want to talk about it? Okay.
We'll talk about it for a minute.
Let's get into it.
I don't understand the award. I don't understand NFL awards anymore. I don't understand the voting system. I don't understand how they come to the conclusions they do, because some of these award choice, like some of the people that won awards this year, like
Who
do
you think didn't deserve the award this year? Other than Josh Allen, because I know that's who you're going to mention
Josh Allen, MVP.
I said other than Josh Allen.
Well, I'm going to say them all.
Okay.
It's not a lot. It's just like 2 or 3. It's the MVP, the Josh Allen one over Lamar. It's Assistant Coach of the Year. And comeback player of the year. I don't think it should have been Joe Burrow.
The only one I agree with you is comeback player of the year.
I don't think it should have been Joe Burrow. I will agree with you
on that one. I think Sam Darnold deserved that award, absolutely.
I think J.K. Dobbins deserved it more than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow came back from a wrist injury.
I could attest to that. And that's not
you know how many players have wrist injuries? You don't see them in the comeback player of the year race?
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all.
And Lamar... I could
go
on for a while,
guys,
but
this is one of the hardest things.
I'm not going to
have an argument with him about when it comes to Lamar Jackson. He will die on that hill, no matter what.
I'm a ride or die.
He will die on that hill. So I can't even explain to him what Josh Allen did this year because it doesn't matter to him.
No, you can.
So
I will have something to say after it.
At the end of the day,
what were you gonna say? Say it quick.
Bias will be in play. There will always be bias when it comes to these things. I think the MVP award, if we're talking strictly about the MVP award, since we're going to talk about it really quick, the MVP award, they were neck and neck for so long. I think there are many things. I think if you look at it stat-wise, I think Lamar had better stats than Josh Allen, probably passing.
Cleared it.
The only thing that Josh Allen had for him on stats was rushing touchdowns.
And one more win.
And one more win, which I mean, I don't know if we call wins are a QB stat. That's a whole nother conversation we could get into.
That's my whole thing. It's one game.
I think when it comes down to me, I don't mind that Josh Allen won the MVP this year. I think he had a great year. I think coming from last season where he was turning over the ball a lot and the team was like 5-5 and like everybody was like, oh, this team might be the window for the championship window's closing and everything like that, and then they go 10-7, and then this year they were dominant for most of the season. Josh Allen barely turned over the ball anymore. Without Stephon Diggs, they only had their best wide receiver was Shakir and Keon Coleman, and they won their division, I think week 9 or something like that. And so it was early in the season. I can't tell you what week it was exactly.
I think it was like 11.
It was sometime early in the season that they already won the AFC East. And then you just like that. And like I said when we talked about it, voter fatigue is going to be in play because
it's such a dumb excuse.
But that's the fact.
It's a fact. I know it is, but it's so beyond dumb.
That's just,
like, people need to get over themselves. I'm sorry. Those voters, some of them should not be voters.
So I think I don't mind it. I think it's just something
I like Josh.
I think it's something that people are just gonna have to. No, I don't think you hate him. I think it's just
people probably do.
No, I'm saying I know you don't hate him, but I'm saying that people. You are just at the end of the day a diehard Ravens fan, and you hate when Lamar Jackson is not getting the respect that he is owed because I'm not gonna say this again, but I will. Lamar Jackson has played probably better stat-wise than Josh Allen this year by far, and I think it's only just because voter fatigue was in play. That's it, point blank, period. And so I didn't mind that Josh Allen won MVP, but if you wanted to look at it from a stat-wise, it should have been Lamar, and it was stupid that it wasn't. But
he was first team All-Pro.
I don't mind that Josh Allen won the MVP this year. I don't mind it.
Explain. I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this really quick. How do you explain? So first team All-Pro, or like all pro teams.
Yeah.
That's saying you're the best player at your position, correct? If you're first team All-Pro, like if you're first team All-Pro quarterback, you're voted on being the best. You've played the best in the NFL at quarterback this year.
Sure.
So how does Lamar win that? Josh is second team, but Josh wins the MVP.
Voter fatigue. That's a fact. It's just voter fatigue.
No,
Lamar won
exactly
it. Lamar won it last year, and I don't know who won it the year before that. I think it was him. I think it might have been somebody else. I don't know.
I know exactly why Josh won, but I think it's kind of the stupidest reasons I've ever heard. Really, it's voter fatigue, and because Lamar had a bunch of Pro Bowl teammates. That's it. That's why Josh won.
I think the reason that he won is because
exactly why Josh Allen won the MVP.
I think he won because his turnover rate was much less than it was last year. Last year it was horrible. I'm saying Josh Allen. I'm not. I know what Lamar did this year. I'm saying Josh Allen. Last year, his turnover rate, he turned over the ball more than he kept the ball on the offense.
You know what's crazy though?
He turned that around in half. Like at half it. Like even like made it look like his turnover rate was like beyond anything I've ever seen.
You know what's crazy though? Lamar increased his passing, and his turnovers went down.
I don't disagree.
And they cut Josh Allen's passing in like half. So
it's hard for me to have this. It's
like
hard for me to have this conversation.
You're gonna turn it over less.
It's hard for me to have this conversation with you because I don't mind that he won MVP. You just don't like it.
No,
and you're gonna die on that hill, and that's okay. That's just because you love Lamar.
I don't like it because I'm never gonna understand MVP voting again.
Okay, and I don't mind that he won it. I'm not saying I'm happy about it, but I'm saying okay, cool. Josh Allen won an MVP.
I can't change the MVP. Like
none of us can. We have no say in this.
Let me finish it.
We have no say in this.
It's fine that Josh Allen won the MVP. I'm happy for Josh. He had a great season. Lamar just had a historic season.
Okay.
If Josh did what Lamar did and Lamar did what Josh did, who wins the MVP?
Josh would have been unanimous.
Exactly. It's literally just voter fatigue and Pro Bowl teammates. That is exactly why Josh Allen won. Because you really can't argue anything else.
And the thing is that you're absolutely right about everything. It's just that I don't mind that he won.
I know,
you just hate that it was.
It just bugs me so much.
You just hate that it was him.
It bugs me.
But then if it was Jared Goff or Saquon Barkley, we would understand that tested to no end. So it's just like...
It's so dumb.
So
MVP voting is dumb.
I don't mind it.
It's dumb.
I didn't even mind that Pat Surtain won Defensive Player of the Year. I didn't care because it was just like...
You know what they should do? They should let players...
TJ Watt wasn't going to win it.
Get a group of NFL players and let them vote on MVP.
Can it just be Patrick Mahomes every year if we get a Patrick Mahomes...
No, it wouldn't.
Demon.
I don't think so. I think it's better than freaking like sport writers that just like, oh, let's give it to Josh. I feel bad for him. I'm gonna die on the hill that it's a pity award.
Did I not say that? I said that when we started this conversation. Next. He was gonna die on this hill, and that's okay.
Yeah, you're never gonna change my mind. So if anyone comes at me in the comments, I'm not gonna change
his mind about Lamar being MVP, and he's not gonna change my mind about Dak being a horrible quarterback. That's just how we are.
If anyone wants to come at me in the comments, go be it, because I'll gladly entertain it. But
yeah, apparently you were being sarcastic in the comments.
It's fun. It gets people. It gets people
very
going.
Funny.
Sarcasm gets them going even more than they were before.
Yeah, because then you just start a conversation.
Exactly.
Like, let's talk.
Mahomes versus Brady.
Go conversation's dead.
At this point,
go conversation's dead.
The Tom Brady Mahomes GOAT discussion. It's over.
Yeah, we're done.
Tom Brady is the GOAT.
We're done with that.
Tom Brady is the GOAT.
Tom Brady won the Super Bowl and he didn't even play.
Unless I almost said Josh Allen. Unless Patrick Mahomes gets to 7 Super Bowls.
Josh Allen really in your head, huh?
We were just talking about him. But listen, unless Patrick Mahomes wins 7 Super Bowls, Tom Brady is the GOAT. Point blank period. He can't do anything about it. You know why? Because Tom Brady never got blown out in a Super Bowl. He almost did.
Almost did.
But guess what?
He came back.
He came back and won.
See, if the Falcons just kept that lead going 28-3.
This would be a different discussion if the Falcons won. It'd be a whole different discussion
because it'd be like, oh, Tom Brady did this before, so I mean, we can't say anything about Patrick Mahomes. But like,
and he would have one less Super Bowl.
Exactly. But I'm not going to disagree with you. I think at the end of the day... Sorry, I'm not talking to Mike. At the end of the day, Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. I don't think... Like, Patrick Mahomes, what he's done the last 8 years he's been in the NFL is huge. I think getting the 3-peat definitely would have added more. I think it's because that's something Brady's never done. He's never gotten a 3-peat. So if Mahomes got a 3-peat, there definitely have been a conversation of like,
yeah,
he might be the best quarterback we've ever seen. But like Tom Brady just
if he did it, yes.
I think there's still also one thing that sports media is not talking about is that the longevity of Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady had, if we really want to get into the conversation, Tom Brady had 2 Hall of Fame careers First part when he was with
two
the
dynasties.
Two dynasties. First
and then he was
part,
like, "Hey, let's go to
part of the
Tampa
Patriots,
and win
then
one."
the second half of the Patriots, and then he said, "Oh, I'm gonna leave, so people don't think I'm just a Belichick. I don't know what you call it, Belichick merchant or something. I don't know." And then he leaves,
Pretty
goes
much.
to Tampa Bay. Of all teams, goes to Tampa Bay, and gets them a ring.
Who is not like, and people think, "Oh, Tom Brady went because."
And you could also say, "Oh, but he had Gronk and he had Antonio Brown and he had that great defense."
People would be like, "Oh, Tom
Come
Brady."
on, dude.
Like the Tampa Bay Bucks had Tom Brady, so yeah, they're gonna win. Like they were good. The Buccaneers were not good before Tom Brady got there. They got good because they had Brady.
It took them a minute. It took them a minute.
They brought in Brady. They brought in Gronk. They brought in Leonard Fournette, I believe. Or was he already there? No, they brought in Fournette.
They brought him in, yes. AB was there.
Antonio Brown was there.
Technically.
Because he did win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he won with them. And they had a great defense back then.
And their defense was pretty good.
At that time, they were like one of the best defenses in football.
So, like, it's really not a discussion at this point. And anyone that says, like, "Oh, Mahomes has so much time," like, yes.
Yeah,
but
he has time.
But the thing is, people have to understand, like, this is, like, if this doesn't happen, Mahomes is never going to be the GOAT. Unless he gets to 7, Brady is the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, like, you might as well just stop talking.
But we will. Can we also, just to play devil's advocate again really quick, like, if Mahomes were, God forbid, retires now, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So just
he made the Hall of Fame.
and that's why we're saying this to say he's already a Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, if God forbid his career is over, one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen play football. Absolutely. No one's going to deny that. But to say that he is at par with Brady or even better than Brady, I think it's kind of childish at this point because, like Jake said, Tom Brady never got blown out of the Super Bowl like that. He almost, like you said, we almost did in 2016, but then
blown out twice.
Exactly. And who blew him out the other time
Brady,
other than Jalen Hurts? Brady.
And Jalen Hurts.
Exactly. So, and like it was just funny to hear Brady was there and he just watched it all happen. He's just like up there in the booth, like, yeah.
He was happy.
My legacy is
100%
just
happy.
fine. My legacy is great. I don't need to worry about this.
He's like, no one can touch me now. I don't need to worry about this
kid from Texas Tech anymore.
As soon as the Eagles won, he basically was like, no one can ever
did you hear what
touch
he
me
said?
right now.
Did you hear the joke you mentioned about Kevin Hart?
Tom Brady?
Yeah, did you hear what he said? He was like, they said that Kevin Hart? How'd the cameras find Kevin Hart? I was like, you're crazy. Tom had some top tier broadcasting moments to the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He is short.
But I think when it comes down to it, I think, like he said, Mahomes has so much time to get to that point, to get to 7.
It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a long hill to climb.
He's gotta win 4 Super Bowls.
And we don't know what Andy Reid is gonna look like, if he's gonna be back or not.
Travis Kelce's
we don't know if Travis
gonna retire.
Gonna be back or not.
He's going to retire soon.
Yeah, and then also some of his alignment might retire too. So like, there's definitely gonna be some rebuilding that's gonna have to make them
Chris
as good
Jones
as they
will
are.
probably retire.
So with that being said, I don't know about Chris Jones. He's not that old.
I think he's pretty.
He's not that old.
He's not young.
But yeah. Anyway, he has time.
I don't know his age.
He has time.
But
He just needs to. And I don't know why I think there's time to be made. It's just that, like I said, the longevity of Tom Brady was so prolific. I think you're just gonna have to do it for a longer period of time. So that's all I gotta say about that. Unless you have something else you wanted to bring up.
About that?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You know, crazy stats. Jalen Hurts.
It's stat
career
time.
Super Bowl, or his career Super Bowl stats: 525 passing yards, 142 rushing yards, 73.3 completion percentage, and 7 touchdowns.
Insane.
And they were 14-1. Yeah, Eagles were 14-1 in their last 15. Jalen Hurts is 14-1 in his last 15 starts.
It's sad, man.
And Nick Sirianni is probably getting an extension.
Probably.
will probably pay him more annually than Ben Johnson. And the Bears gave Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I would get that. Because they have the money for it.
All right. Now we got a little game. And you're playing it.
We do? I didn't know we had a game today.
We do.
Okay.
And you're playing it.
It's just me.
Yeah.
Because Mike's not here.
Michael's not here.
All right. Let's lock in then.
All right.
And I can't...
Can you name me the top... We'll do top 10.
Top 10?
Wait,
okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
All right, hold on.
Top 10.
Redo.
I'm going to restart.
Restart.
Can you name me the top 10 best Super Bowl odds for 2026?
Ooh. They already have them
draft.
They already have them out.
Right now. Yes, they have them right now.
Jeez. Man,
this is from
sports betting is crazy nowadays.
DraftKings. So
I think I looked at it yesterday though.
Can you name me the top?
I might be able to.
Can you name me the top 10 Super Bowl odds for 2026?
Eagles are 1.
Yes, they're plus 600.
Chiefs are 2. I want to say they're 2.
There's 3 teams tied for second. Chiefs are one of them.
Chiefs are one of them.
Plus 700.
The Lions one of them.
No, Lions are
Ravens.
Third, technically. Plus 1,000. The Ravens are one of them, plus 700.
Okay. Bills?
Bills are plus 700.
Okay, so that's
it's the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens are tied for second.
So Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
Lions technically third.
Okay.
It's kind of weird because there are 3 teams tied for second.
Ooh, okay. So I already have 5, so I just need 5 more.
6, 7,
8, 9, 10.
9, 10.
Okay. Commanders.
Commanders are... So that would be... If we're going numerical, they would be 7.
Okay.
At plus 1,800.
Cool. Who's 6? That's going to be tough. Packers are up there?
Packers are 8.
Packers are
plus
up there?
1,800.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so they're tied with the
just the tie.
This is just
numerical order. Yeah,
I'm just going numerical order at this point.
Yeah, because
there's a lot of teams
who
that are
cares
tied.
about the ties at this point? No, that would have been really bad.
These teams are not like you get these pretty easily.
No, I believe it. I believe it. I'm just thinking in my head who. Because if we were in the studio, I could look at the teams and be like, "Who is that?" I can't think of any. Are the Bengals up there?
Bengals are 9th.
Okay.
Plus 2,000.
I know the Steelers aren't up there on that list. I know that for a fact. They're probably like 11 or 12. I need 6 and 8 and 10.
Yeah, 6 and 10.
Oh, you have 8? Oh, so 6 and 10.
Yeah, you need 6 and 10.
Okay. Golly, this is tough. Niners.
Niners are 6.
Why did I not think of the Niners? They should be up there.
They
Golly.
are plus 1,600.
Okay. 10.
Now you're missing 10.
Ugh. Can I get the division? Just help me out. So.
Do you want division or conference? NFC.
NFC. Okay. Rams.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
Off rip?
Yeah.
Yo. Yeah.
Plus 2,800.
I know ball, bro. I know ball. Come on.
Plus 2,800.
I know ball.
So that's the top 10 Super Bowl odds for 2026. Eagles 1, Chiefs 2, Bills 3, Ravens 4, Lions 5, 49ers 6, Commanders 7, Packers 8, Bengals 9, and Rams are 10.
We really are putting so much stock on the Packers. I get it. I mean, the Packers, Jordan Love and that roster is good, but like I don't know.
I don't believe
and
in the Packers.
And that's not me hating the Packers. It's just they're a young team.
I don't believe in the Packers. Like,
are the Lions?
They need a lot of help.
Are the Steelers on that list?
No.
At all?
Not top 10.
Dang, that's unfortunate.
I don't know what they are.
We'll probably go higher depending on if we get a franchise guy, but who knows? But I hope.
But Lamar's favorite for MVP next year.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. I'm looking at a lot of mock drafts. They're saying we're gonna get Mbuka from.
Sorry.
They're saying we're gonna get Mbuka from Ohio State. Which, if we got him,
I'd be pretty sick.
I would be so happy. It would make me.
Ibuka is one of my favorite receivers.
If he was a Steeler, but I don't. We're also thinking about getting Barton from where is he from? Missouri,
Michigan.
I think, or Michigan, yeah. So I think
the best D lineman in the draft.
The Steelers are leaning more towards
interior lineman.
I think we're leaning more towards a wide receiver because I think we just need pass catchers at this point.
You need offense.
And then I also saw that like if Jaden Milroe got pushed to the second round, we could go and snag him. Which I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. But but that would depend on like Jaden Milroe's, like if we re-sign Russell Wilson, and then there's somebody else if we re-sign Justin Fields. So like it depends on who we re-sign. So
I think the Jets should go after Justin Fields, and I don't know. I honestly
thought you said they shouldn't go for Justin.
I kind of like the idea now.
No, okay.
I've thought about it.
Yeah. Are you turning around to Justin Fields, or you still think he's bad?
And
no,
like,
I don't want to get started on that
like
again.
at this point, like the Jets could give him like a 1 year
but also,
deal.
There is so much, and we're gonna.
You don't have to commit to him.
This is my favorite part. The offseason is my favorite part because it's like all these different conspiracy ideas with like
it's
trade
just
packages.
all hypotheticals.
And then like so, Aaron Rodgers says he's not gonna be a Jet. He said he's not coming back, and so the top landing spot for him is Pittsburgh, which I'm just like I don't like.
It wouldn't be the worst thing.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but like if we re-sign Russell Wilson and then have Aaron Rodgers as the backup.
Honestly, I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers than.
Then we'd just be a team of old heads.
Justin Fields.
We would just be a team of old heads at that point. If it's Russ and Aaron Rodgers.
Russ ain't coming back.
I'm just saying if they did re-sign him and then they got Aaron Rodgers, it would be the worst decision.
Because like at worst
I've ever seen.
Like let's say at worst,
if I'm honest,
you guys get Aaron. Like the Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers, and you guys suck. You're one of the worst. You end up being.
So you're saying. So
ends up being.
So what you're saying is we're gonna tank for Arch Manning. That's what you think we're gonna do.
I mean.
And I'm not saying that to say Arch Manning
the worst thing in the world.
It's not the worst thing in the world because Arch Manning is a really good quarterback, but jeez,
great quarterback. I'm just saying, like,
I just don't want to lose our. I don't want to lose our streak of winning seasons.
If that happened, in the grand scheme of things, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for that franchise.
Yeah. They wouldn't,
because I'm having a hard time like. Be like,
but then I also feel like
I don't know where you guys go.
Then at that point, then we have to get rid of Fitzpatrick or TJ to get
probably
money, to get draft capital.
But you got to do that sometimes.
Yeah, and that sucks because
the Chiefs got rid of Tyreek Hill.
I know the Steelers are not going to do it because we're so loyal with our players. It's insane.
And that's why you guys haven't won a Super Bowl since
you think I know that? You don't think I know that?
No, I'm just saying.
Goodness gracious, man.
Sometimes loyalty is to a fault.
But with that, the 2024 NFL season comes to an end. And now all we have is the offseason.
Quick high-level thought of the 2024 season. Go.
I enjoyed it. It was a great season. Getting to see all of our teams, the Ravens, Steelers, and Michael's Commanders, make it to the playoffs respectfully. It was a fun time for us because we were just like, oh, where are we? Who are we going to be playing? Like getting to the point of the playoffs, like seeding was like so crucial, especially for us because like we knew one of us was going to win the AFC North. We just didn't know what it would turn into. And then seeing that we would have to play each other in the wild card was like not my best pick, but it is what it is. And then Michael's Commanders making all the NFC Championship game. He was excited about that, which I mean, come on. Like the Commanders making the NFC Championship game was not in anybody's bingo card for 2025. Crazy. So, but like, yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it was a good season. We got a lot of good plays. We had a lot of exciting moments and ended with a below average Super Bowl, but Philadelphia.
I thought it was pretty great.
And it feels good to know that like living in Pennsylvania and like living close to Philly and like getting to see like and I saw a lot of videos after Philly won the Super Bowl. It was insane. So like Broad Street's gonna be going crazy on Friday for the parade. So yeah, it was a great Super Bowl. I mean, great Super Bowl and great NFL season. I can't like there's nothing I can say about it.
My thoughts is. It's really about my team, but it was a great season. It was a great season. I thought the Super Bowl was pretty good because Chiefs lost.
I'm just saying people like media wise said it was a subpar Super Bowl, but yeah, it was good.
The Ravens, not the season not the way I thought it would end. I thought there was great growth on offense though. The defense, Zach Orr figured it out. They figured out the
that
formula.
Second half of the season, your defense was cooking. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They figured out the pieces of where to go, where they fit, where they go. Zach Orr's gonna continue to keep getting better. They just got Chuck Pagano back on their staff.
True, very true.
They have Dean Pease still. That defense and that coaching staff is just going to keep getting better.
I think it's just
Lamar in the third year of that offense is going to be
so much
even better than he was. Their offense will improve. They're going to get better. Yeah. I think they should go after a wide receiver one, probably an O lineman.
What I saw from mock drafts, a mock draft said that you guys were getting an edge.
Pass rushers.
Yeah, I was saying an edge.
If that Super Bowl proved anything for AFC teams,
you just need to
pass rush,
mess up Patrick Mahomes.
Interior or defensive line is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you can rattle Mahomes, which is possible because it just happened, then you will throw them off.
Yeah, and I think it was just unfortunate that it had to be Ravens-Bills in the divisional, because I think it was just like it sucked, because it was like, do you like Josh Allen? Josh Allen deserves to go, like, try to beat Mahomes, but also Lamar deserves a chance to try and get his revenge on Mahomes. So it was just unfortunate that it had to be ended that way. That's just the way the dice rolled.
Crumbled.
So
it is what it is at this point.
I think for the Steelers, I think for us, I think it was to be expected. I didn't expect us to make it to pass the wild card, honestly, in my opinion, because I just don't think we had the pass catchers or the quarterback to get us to that point. So definitely think I don't know how I feel about tanking. I think I don't want to say it's inevitable, but I think that's a path.
It's not inevitable, but if it happened,
I think
it's not
a
the
path
worst
that
thing.
the Steelers could go on, because we need to get a franchise QB to carry us for the next couple of years, to make us a stud. Because I think, like we talked about so many times in this past season, the Steelers' defense is a good defense.
Yeah,
one of the best defenses in football, I would say. I'm not gonna say top 5, maybe top 10, if you want to go down that road, but they were up there as one of the best. 10. They were one of the best defenses in football. It was just that our offense was lagging behind us, because
the end of the year was the last 4 games were just rough for the offense.
But it also was scheduling, because it was like we had Ravens, Eagles, Chiefs, and I think Bengals or something like that. So it was just.
No, was it Bengals? It was
Bengals
or Browns or something.
No, it was Bengals. Bengals were the last game of the season. So it was just that last bit was just like we had to play good team. So it was like.
Yeah.
It was just rough, but I think going into this offseason, we just need to get pass catchers. So if we do get Mbuka, I would absolutely love that. I think
offense.
We really
focus on offense.
I think we just really do need to focus on offense. Figure
running
out
back.
If we're gonna re-sign people, or I think we might be
draft a running back, draft an O lineman.
A lot of rumors that we're definitely gonna be losing Najee Harris. I think he might go into free agency, which, I mean, I get it. He wants to go test it out, and I wouldn't be mad at him for it.
Dude, there's so many good there's so many good running backs in this draft, though.
Yeah,
if you lost Najee Harris, just draft one. There's so many good ones.
Mm-hmm. And even if we get a backup Jalen Warren, I wouldn't be mad about that. Jalen Warren's a pretty good running back. He's not up there with the Saquons and the Derrick Henrys, but he can get you yards.
Cam Scatterbu. And he's not even one of the highest.
Yeah, he's not one of the highest ranked running backs, but he still would do so much for our offense.
Because he's probably I'm pretty sure he's projected to be a 3rd or 4th round pick.
But yeah,
so
and I know Michael definitely have his thoughts about the Commanders.
We're gonna talk. Let him say stuff
is
next
gonna
week.
Be fun. It's gonna be fun talk about off season and everything. But yeah, just to end it all on a bow for this 2024 season, I think.
Bible verse. Oh,
I mean, just to end the part of the season, and then we'll get to the Bible verse.
Sorry.
We'll talk about God. I want to talk about it. You jumped the gun, but it's fine. I think at the end of the day, it was a great year. All 3 of us. I don't know if we would say this is our favorite year. I think it was fun, to do this podcast and then be really honing in on the season and watching everything. It was so fun to see those different aspects, and
it's more fun when all of our teams are good.
We definitely listened to a lot of different podcasts to hear different perspectives on things, and what other people were thinking about our teams, and what we could use for our own podcast and talk about, because yeah, it was fun. I listened to a lot more football podcasts this year than I have ever in my 23 years living on this earth, because it was just fun to just hear different opinions about the Steelers and what we think we should do. Because like, there's some people that are like, oh, you guys should definitely keep Russell Wilson, and those are like, you should fire Mike Tomlin. Like, you get so many different perspectives, and I think
you should still do that, but sorry,
I know that's what you think, but I don't know what we're doing with that.
They should just do it. It's like a Band-Aid.
I'm excited to see
just rip it
what
off.
The 2025 NFL season looks like, what our teams will look like, what the draft is going to be like for us. So now it's time to get to the Bible verse of the episode. Jake's going to read
Bible verse of the episode.
I believe it is. What is it, Jake?
Philippians 4:13.
A classic one.
Got it tatted on my arm.
Loves that Bible verse.
Anyway,
I loved it too. It was on my Instagram bio for a while.
I can do all things through Christ, or through Him. Sorry, this is a different version.
Yeah, same.
I can do
same sentiment.
All this through Him who gives me strength, which is basically.
I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. It's basically the verse.
If that's another version of or translation of it. This is NIV. That is NIV. What I read.
Got you. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a classic verse. We can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. I think it's a very
God gives us our strength.
Exactly. It's a very encouraging. There's the word. A very encouraging verse for us as Christians to remember that God gives us the strength to do all the things that we
set our minds
to. Especially this podcast. He gives us the strength to
keep pushing.
Look at content. Pushes us to do those many things and things like that.
Don't stop. Just keep grinding.
I think that
keep the grind.
I think the biggest thing this year, I know we didn't talk about it, but like I think the biggest thing also from this season was just I'd love to see so many, and I mean so many NFL players talking about God. No, like every
college football too.
From preseason to the start of regular season, even college football to the start of college football, and I just hit the mic. I'm sorry. From the start of college football to the start of the NFL season, all the way up to the end, like God was so prevalent throughout this specific season of the NFL and CFB that it was just like.
It's gonna keep going.
It's so encouraging because now you get to see all these kids who are looking up to these stars in the NFL or in college football who are just like, I know I'm a good football player, but like I can't do any of it without God. And it's like so cool to see that from that perspective. And that verse talking about like it must have been a definite verse for them. Especially in NFL where it's like you need God's strength to get you through all those moments of the NFL and things like that in college football as well. So that's one of my also biggest takeaways is that God is so prevalent in the NFL and college football right now that like you cannot deny that he is not here. You can't deny that he doesn't exist, in my opinion, because like it's so like you saw it. Ohio State non-stop talk like they had.
Notre Dame did.
They literally had a random
Boise
worship
State
night in front of their campus and just started worshiping God. People got baptized. People started praying to God. You saw so many.
If you watch the video, it's pretty crazy.
It's so insane, and you see them like someone started a podcast because Ohio State started talking about Jesus prevalently throughout this college football season. You saw a lot of people in the Super Bowl specifically, like Patrick Mahomes, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. I'll even go Jalen Hunt, like he talked about God. And so many guys, like they were just so prevalent about their faith and their values that it's just like as an NFL fan and as a Christian man, like it's so cool to see that. And so like because one day we're gonna have kids. If our kids want to play football, it's like you could do this because what does Philippians 4:13 say? I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength.
Do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
It's so cool to see that. I'm so excited about what God's doing in the NFL and what he's doing to college football. In many years to come, we're going to see all these guys be like that. So
it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not stopping at all.
No.
Like it's not slowing down.
It's only going to get bigger.
It's just going to the more players that come through.
Biggest thing, bro. Like if we had, and I know this is something that like I was thinking about earlier. Was like if we had like a Christian rapper or Christian artist do the Super Bowl halftime show.
That'd be pretty cool.
Dude.
Or just a Christian like
it would be insane if they were like
band.
Next year 2026 Lecrae is doing that halftime show.
I mean that would be pretty good.
That would be kind of insane. So like this like
that'd be a pretty good halftime show.
It'd be a great halftime show. It'd be a great halftime show.
Very good one.
Exactly. Or it'd be like a Mad City Music. I don't know if we do Mad City Music because that's like worship, but like I mean, we can hope. Chandler Moore being up there wouldn't make me. It wouldn't make me mad.
Who knows?
God could do it.
Because God
could do it.
I don't think anybody really saw this huge movement.
No,
coming this year.
Absolutely not. So who knows?
Like last season, I don't think anyone would have been like, yeah, next year all these players are gonna start coming out.
Mm-hmm.
College football, pro.
Mm-hmm.
All different sports
are
going to start coming out and professing.
Did you see
God.
Sports Spectrum liked one of our reels?
I did. That was pretty crazy.
That's sick. Shout out to y'all, bro. We appreciate y'all.
I saw that. I was like, that's not real.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
I was like, that's a fake account.
It has to be. I clicked on it. I was like, oh, wow.
That's a fake. Because that's happened before. And I was like, I saw it. I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And then I click on it. It's a fake.
Yeah. So
it has like 10 followers.
Shout out to Sports Spectrum though. We love y'all's content. We love what you guys are about and everything like that. So, any last minute high level thoughts about the season before we call it a close?
I thought I had something, but I don't remember.
He lost it. So unfortunate.
I don't know. Cooper DeJean is.
He's a dog.
He's an amazing white. That's all I got.
Oh my.
No,
no, that's funny. Last high level thoughts. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got. Jake, why don't you hit us with that outro and we call it a night?
That's gonna wrap up this episode of the Triple Threat Podcast. Make sure you go check out our channel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Please subscribe.
We will see you guys. The only way you guys will see our
episode is if you guys subscribe.
Michael will be back. We will back in the studio.
We'll be back in the studio.
And God bless y'all. Peace.
See you guys.